Welcome to Part 1 for learning a system on solving one-step equations. Today you will learn the basic structure for showing your work, some action items, and reviewing common mistakes. This method is guaranteed to help you be more accurate, keep your thinking and work organized, and help you find mistakes in a snap if you make any. Before we start, you need to refresh your memory on the zero rule, the same sign rule, and the different sign rule, as you will use these rules within this system. Or have your study sheet handy if you need help. First, I want you to keep in mind two essential principles. Your main goal is to learn how to get the variable by itself and how to balance each side of the equation by learning what you do to one side of the equation you must do to the other side. Alright, let's get started. I'm sure you've heard of the saying, what makes a good neighbor? A good fence. Your side, my side, right? Well, in the same way, what's the easiest way to balance an equation? That's right, a fence. Okay, maybe it's a bit of a stretch, but by using a fence, it will help you keep each side of the equation balanced and help you get the variable by itself. Let's start with the basic structure and action items before we work a problem. When you see a variable being added or subtracted to a number, draw a fence. Next, you're going to do action item number 1. On the variable side, make a 0 by adding or subtracting the opposite number you see to each side. This is also called the inverse operation. Then draw a simplify line and do action item number 2 by simplifying using the same or different sign rule. You might be thinking, hey, what if the variable happens to be on the other side? No worries, just follow the same steps. Draw your fence, make a 0 on the variable side, draw a simplify line, then calculate using the same or different sign rule. You can solve a problem no matter what side the variable is on if you follow the steps in the correct order. So now let's work some problems. I see a variable being added to a number. I draw a fence. Next, I do the first action item. On the variable side, I make a 0 by using the inverse operation. In this case, I see a positive 24, so I subtract 24 to each side. Now I have a positive 24 and a negative 24, which equals 0. So I want you to draw a 0 around both integers. Next, I draw a simplify line, and I bring down the b, which is left over, and now by itself. Last, I do the second action item. I see different signs, so I simplify using the different sign rule. A positive 19 and a negative 24 equals a negative 5, so b equals negative 5. Now, there's a not-so-secret secret that I hope you know about equations. You can always get 100% on equation problems by checking your answer. So let's do it. I write the original equation and replace the variable with the solution I found. I use order of operations to see if each side equals each other. If so, the equation is balanced and I know it's the right answer. Let's try one with a variable on the other side. I see a variable being combined with a negative integer. I draw a fence. Next, I do the first action item. On the variable side, I make a 0 by using the inverse operation. In this case, I see a negative 14, so I add 14 to each side. Then I make a 0. Next, I draw a simplify line and bring down the w, which is left over, and now by itself. Last, I do the second action item. I see different signs, so I simplify using the different sign rule. A negative 27 and a positive 14 equals a negative 13. So w equals negative 13. Now, let's check our answer. I write the original equation and replace the variable with the solution I found. I use order of operations to see if each side equals each other. The equation is balanced, and I know I'll get 100%. I think I hear some of you saying, Mrs. Wagner, I don't think you've noticed how smart I am. I mean, really, I can do this in my head. I don't need to show my work because I know I'm right. Well, guess what? I'm just like you. I can do this in my head too. But in no time at all, you're going to be solving complicated problems. And guess what? this step is going to show up somewhere. Do you see it here? This is a foundational skill you need to do so you can work up to more complicated problems later. Besides, I want to see on paper what's in that amazing brain of yours. Before we end, let's look at a few common mistakes that I see students make. The quickest way to see mistakes is to check the action items to see if any errors were made. Do you see this mistake yet? When I check action number 1, I see he made a 0 but not on the variable side. You never want to put everything on one side of the fence. However, you can fix this by making another 0 and moving the 5 back to the other side. But what a lot of work. What happened here? After seeing the equation didn't balance, I checked action number 1. I see she subtracted 24 from the variable side, but added 24 to the other side. What you do to one side of the equation, you must do to the other. She should have subtracted 24 to each side. Be careful you're not working too fast. It's easy to get careless and forget those negative signs. So why didn't this balance? Action number 1 looks right when she made a 0, but in action number 2 she used different sign rule. But she had more negatives and didn't keep the sign. The answer should have been -5. Those negatives will get you every time if you're not careful. And finally, make sure you copy the equation correctly. So let's wrap it up. Keep a copy of both equation study sheets to use as a reference guide. See which one works best for you and use it until the process becomes automatic. Next time, I'll show you how this method works for multiplying and dividing. And yes, it is different. See you next time.